it's easy to dismiss it. You know, it's easy to try and put it aside, like the unpaid bill. You know, you get the bill and you're too busy to deal with it, and you wait to get the red one, and then the red one turns up because it's red. You bury it even deeper because it's offensive. And you know, I think a lot of people deal with cancer in that way because it's just more convenient, you know, to bury it under your, you know, one's, you know, daily existence. There's so many things going on. The last thing you want to do is worry about what could that be on my arm, or, you know, I'm not feeling too good today. It's people don't like talking about it, but even when people potentially maybe have issues and maybe have a fear of having some diagnosis, it's amazing how many people try and dismiss it even then. But no, it's easy to dismiss things. Obviously, it's part of human nature. That's what we do. That's how we survive. It's often easier just to sort of like turn a blind eye and move forward, rather than keep looking back and dealing with the issue. But no, I don't know. I wish I knew the answer to that one.
It is just only recently that women are coming out and saying it isn't the big C. You know, people never even mentioned the word up until, 50 years ago? It was she's got C, the big C. And it was a horrible situation. And it was a horrible situation on the whole. But, and I think the more we know about a problem area, the better it is. And the more people that talk about it and learn about it, the better. I mean, people didn't even know, they didn't want to know anything about cancer. They couldn't even discuss it. Nobody would talk about it.
It's the way you grew up. I think it has to do with your upbringing as to whether or not you can talk about something. It's a personal thing. Cancer is a personal thing. It's a terrifying word, because everybody associates cancer with death, and it doesn't have to be. And I think it's the lack of education for people, or the lack of being able to talk about it, that says it doesn't have to be. The more information you find out, the more you can talk about it. The more open you are to any subject, the better you are.
A lot of people maybe just haven't had experience with that, so they just don't know what to do, so they just sort of avoid and maybe don't deal with it.
I mean, I think that's another thing. It's awkward going up to somebody and just asking them questions about it, which I don't really mind. Like, I think it's more awkward for me to bring it up, because I don't want to just bring everybody down and just be like, oh, I have cancer, let's talk about it.
I guess I don't know. I don't know why people are afraid to talk about cancer, but I just know that I recently graduated college and know a lot of people my age, and just sort of any illness or disease is not very common or not very talked about for people my age. And so I think it's just so unknown that people don't know what to talk about. You know, like what would that mean to talk about cancer, unless you're just affected by it personally. Like, it doesn't come up. And it's not, I think as people age, they obviously experience more and experience illness more often, and so I think they're more aware of like what that means. But for people my age, that I don't think they have experienced very much.
Until you've gone through it with someone, or you've got through it yourself, it's really hard to understand. And unfortunately, I understand.
I think there's still people out there that think that, you know, once you have cancer, you will die. I think people, you know, they hear the word chemo, and there's so many people that have no idea what chemo is, or there's the many, many, many different kinds of chemo that you can have, or the radiation, or what that even means. I mean, you know, when you think about radiation, you think about, you know, Chernobyl. I mean, you don't think about, you know, what it's doing and how it's making someone well.
Because I don't talk about it very much in polite society, because people are very afraid of thinking of their mortality.
I think that people shy away from the subject of cancer based on fear of the unknown, and maybe they do think it's contagious. Maybe they think they just don't want to be bothered by it. I mean, so many times people shy away from the tough subjects, and I mean, I'm sure I'm guilty of it myself, but I just think there's still a bit of a taboo with cancer, and if you have it, there's something wrong with you, or you did something to get it. But I just think it's, with so much information out there, I don't think people should be as afraid of it as they are.
It's head in the sand syndrome. You don't want to know, you know, and I can understand that too. You know, it's like that movie, you can't handle the truth. You know, the truth isn't that bad, because what if it's all curable, and what if you live? By not taking care of it, then you die. What have you accomplished? Nothing.
Fear is it's our big enemy. Once you remove fear from something, then it has no power over you whatsoever. So if you remove the fear from this cancer thing, then it's done, then it's beat. We can say, I don't fear you, and now I'm going to
Conquer you.
Conquer you.